how you trade the weather. Like, ship kind of went sideways, piled up against this other ship. That's again essentially what the shipping futures would be for. Today we're going to talk about the strangest things you can trade on the futures market. The reason I say strange is because if you're a beginner and you've never heard of this, it can sound a bit funny. Like, what, you can trade electricity prices or something. Like, so number one is the weather. Yes, you can trade the weather on the futures market. I know. What? That doesn't make sense. Wow, how do you trade the weather? Like, it's essentially a way to hedge. So when you trade the weather, what you're essentially doing is you're hedging against a bad weather event, like a hurricane or a cyclone. Here in Australia, we call them cyclones, but over there in America, they call them hurricanes. And I'm pretty sure, I think in Japan, they call them typhoons, or some country they call them typhoons. But essentially, imagine there's like a weather event and it messes up your business. Say you're a farmer and you've got these crops, and then like the weather, I think in Queensland, we had like a banana shortage at one point, I think. I don't know. I hate bananas, so like I'm just like, oh yeah, bananas, whatever. There was a banana shortage at some point, and that was caused by the weather. So you can now understand, while we're having this conversation, that like, oh, you know, weather futures actually make sense. Yeah, it doesn't sound as, I guess, funny anymore, but it's a great, I don't know, conversation starter, I guess. Yeah, cool. Hey, if it makes money, it makes money. Hey, you make money doing this thing called Bitcoin? I'm in. Oh, you're trading crypto, DeFi, options? Cool, I'm happy with that. So number two would be the temperature. Yes, there is a temperature index. Basically, the temperature index is a way to hedge against, well, it's kind of similar to weather, what I just talked about. Hedge against, like, say you're a ski resort and you're worried about the snow melting and then you don't get any customers. Well, that's what the temperature index would be for. Number three, shipping index. Just think about shipping and how important it is for global trade. You might want to hedge against something. There was that Suez Canal where the ship kind of went sideways and all the other ships were like, you know, piled up against this other ship. Geopolitical risks. I mean, there's piracy, there's all kinds of things that can happen. You can trade electricity prices. You're having a big company, you're mining Bitcoin, or you have a factory, or you have something that's very electricity intensive, and you want to hedge against some sort of price surge. Well, yeah, it makes sense to trade electricity futures. And finally, we have orange juice. Yes, orange juice of all things. Hey, look, it's a market for that, there's a demand for it, it exists. At this rate, you may as well have a pineapple on pizza futures for Australia, because it's very popular over here. If anyone even sees this, comment anything about this. Do you know why people trade it? What do you think about it? Just comment your thoughts, we'll talk. Anyway, thank you for watching.
Ship kind of went sideways. You know, the ship kind of went sideways. Like the ship got stuck or whatever. The ship got stuck, and all the other ships were like, you know,